With all the recent hate around the Rolex brand, we've decided to lighten things up by sharing with you the quirky and ridiculous nicknames on the popular Rolex models, which many of you should already know. Rolex wristwatches not only bear their official name or appear in their reference number, but also earn nicknames for themselves. Nicknames are often intended to show endearment, closeness, and connection to a particular person or thing. Why then do wristwatches bear nicknames? We'll go through the varieties of nicknames that you'll either love or hate for different Rolex models, as well as the story behind its origin. Nicknames have brought a level of humor and lightheartedness to the luxury watch industry's seemingly serious and rigid world. Thus, watch lovers can express familiarity and play the game of nomenclature cool. Different models of the Rolex brand have given various nicknames based on the bezel's color, the case's shape, or the iconic individual who wore it. Some of these nicknames are generally known. Some are exclusively known, and while some are hated, others are adored. It's a naming game. Let's play! Rolex Pepsi. Those outside the sphere of the watch collecting world would think of Pepsi as the carbonated soft drink they can gulp on the go. However, for watch collectors and lovers, Pepsi is a nickname associated with the iconic Rolex GMT Master Series. Although it shares the same color as the iconic Pepsi soda logo, it was not named after the soda. Rolex joined efforts with Pan American Airlines in the early 1950s to create a watch for its crew of pilots. This led to the creation of the Rolex GMT Master Ref 6542 that has a matching bezel color of red and blue, just like the airline's color scheme. This iconic timepiece was of great help to these pilots in the age of transcontinental flights, as they could quickly tell the difference between daytime and nighttime hours. They were also able to keep track of multiple time zones at once. This same winning color combo has thus far been emulated by many other GMT Master models over the decades, but on various bezel materials. The initial Pepsi bezel was made of bakelite, and afterwards, both aluminum and Cerachrome ceramic were utilized as bezel materials. Despite the different bezel materials being used over the years, different series of the Rolex GMT Master have consistently paid homage to the nickname Pepsi. Even today, the iconic timepiece still maintains the color features of Pepsi and can be found in both stainless steel and white gold on both the original GMT Master and GMT Master 2 models. Rolex Fat Lady. 1983 ushered in the next chapter in the GMT Master story in the fashion of reference 16760. It was the first of its kind and was distinguished by its 24-hour hand, which could be set independently from the old-fashioned 12-hour hand. To shelter the caliber 3085, which gave the timepiece the luxury of a genuine GMT watch, the stainless case of the Rolex GMT Master 2 Ref 16760 became noticeably thicker than its ancestors. Consequently, it earned the nickname Fat Lady. The Fat Lady is also less commonly called Sophia Loren, about the reputed Italian actress's curves. Exclusively embedded in stainless steel, not only was her functionality upgraded, the Fat Lady was glamored in a red and black bezel, thus making her bezel the numero uno Rolex Coke bezel. And while she retains her 40mm case diameter, her crown guards are larger than the former versions. The Bart Simpson. The Rolex Submariner Reference 5513, which features a gilt dial, was made in the 1960s. Its chunky, five-pointed Rolex coronet logo resembles the famous Bart Simpson's character on the hit animated television series, thus earning it the name Bart Simpson. The last runs of gilt gloss dials with the Bart Simpson coronet were produced around 1966, before switching to matte dials. The Root Beer. The first dual-tone yellow, gold, and stainless steel GMT Master Pilot's watch was introduced by the Rolex brand in the 1970s. 3 bezel options were suggested without excluding black, reddish-brown, and a new color mix of brown and yellow. The color combination of brown and yellow later became recognized as the Root Beer. The initial Root Beer bezel was made of aluminum and a two-tone color of black and yellow. But in present times, GMT Master 2 Root Beer watches are now fashioned in Cerachrome ceramic bezels in brown and black. More modern references also feature solid gold Everose cases or dual-tone Rolls-Royce cases. The Root Beer, defined by a chocolatey-colored bezel, is also called the Dirty Harry or the Clint Eastwood, as it was worn several times by the actor himself. Undoubtedly, Root Beer watches are some of the most peculiar-looking models ever designed by the Rolex brand. The Batman. This Rolex GMT Master 2, with the reference 116710 BLNR, was introduced in 2013 with its stunning blue and black bezel insert. In 2019, Batman witnessed an upgrade in its reference to 126710 BLNR and a newer caliber 3285 movement. Although this model has been nicknamed Bruiser and the Dark Knight, its most common name remains the Batman. The Batgirl. Introduced in 2019, the Batgirl is a BLNR on a Jubilee bracelet. It is a GMT Master 2 with reference 126710 BLNR possessing a blue and black bezel insert. This reference is now available with either an Oyster bracelet or its normal Jubilee bracelet. Hence, this makes it difficult to distinguish between its Batman carbon copy without a box and papers or the help of an expert to ascertain the interior caliber. Starbucks. Rolex introduced a new Submariner to its watch collection in late 2020. The hot newcomer came with a black dial, a super case, and a green Cerachrome bezel. The black and green Rolex Submariner 126610 LV, with its green bezel and black dial, resembles the outstanding Starbucks logo, and as such, it earned itself the sobriquet Starbucks. Although a successor to the Submariner Hulk 116610 LV, Starbucks visually looks like a Kermit, and maybe it would have sufficed to be nicknamed Hulkermit. Watch lovers and collectors have stuck with the nickname Starbucks. Regardless of what name has been chosen for this significant timepiece, it remains highly respected with the divers and watch collecting world. Green Lantern. Early this year, Rolex introduced a left-hand GMT Master 2 126720 VTNR with a dual-colored bezel of green and black. This prestigious timepiece has three nicknames, which are Green Lantern, the Destro, or the Sprite. Some watch enthusiasts have decided to stick with the name Sprite so that it can well accompany its brothers who have followed the soda route. Others may have chosen the nickname Green Lantern to include it with its superhero brothers. Based on the design of the crown protruding from the left side of the wristwatch case, some have stuck with the Italian word destro, which implies that it is created for left-handers or people who wear their watch on their right hand. Who knows if some other school of thought will call it southpaw too? The Smurf. The white gold Submariner was launched in 2008 on the centennial celebration of the Rolex brand, as the first to feature a bracelet and case made from 18-karat white gold. The wristwatch with the reference 116619 LB was brought for the first time on a white gold model with a blue dial and a blue Cerachrome bezel. The brighter blue color of this model was enough to illuminate the nicknaming prowess of watch collectors as they became reminded of the well-known cartoon, The Smurfs. And watch lovers ended up giving this model of the Rolex Submariner the nickname Smurfs. Paul Newman. This is one of the most largely recognized nicknames in the whole history of Rolex timepieces. This luxury timepiece has a peculiar type of dial known as the exotic dial, characterized by a three-colored dial, Arabic numerals in Art Deco style, and hash marks with small squares to the subsidiary dial. Thus, any Rolex Daytona wristwatch that can boast these features is a Paul Newman. However, this nickname pays homage to the famous actor who bore at least two different Daytonas, with the exotic dial on his wrist. In 2017, his watch reference 6239 was sold at auction for close to $18 million. Among many others, wristwatches from the Rolex brand have more nicknames than other brands. Perhaps this shows how widespread the Rolex watch community is, and how the brand has become a name on every lip in various forms. Whether comic, cartoon, or soda resemblance, Rolex nicknames have a story to tell, either about the watch's colors, shapes, event, or wearer. So love them or not, iconic watches have earned their nickname regardless.